Wow, 10 people.
Recording. I just got a message that the meeting's being recorded. Who records it?
Devin.
What do you do with all the recordings?
We have a YouTube channel that they go up on.
Yeah, so the only way you
Site.
can find is if you just look it up
Or you
deliberately.
yeah. You can also go on our website. There's a link YouTube and it will take you right there. Like our
Yeah,
our
and-
club website.
And what's good about that is you can go back and, see how you did without any distractions. And it's just a good way to improve yourself. And
I'm not sure if I want to see that.
yeah, and
Me
and
neither.
if you don't want to, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But at least it's an option.
Yeah.
Hi, Myra.
Hello.
Okay. I think we are on. And Paul, you've got everybody here?
No, we need some
Let's-
people.
You need some people.
We need some people.
Need some
Are all
people.
anybody that you need to have a role filled that hasn't
Well,
shown
I
up yet?
need my table topics master. I think she's gonna join. Anita, she'll join.
Still probably.
Okay.
And then I do also need, and if not, let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm looking.
Hi, Lisa.
Megan
Hey
is
guys,
evaluating.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Megan is Brooks evaluator.
Come on, time.
So I didn't get an agenda.
The agenda is in your head.
I
Wow.
like looking at it.
It's a virtual agenda. You just have to go with the flow.
Oh, it's tough today, Paul.
I know. So it's you just chalk it up to laziness of the Toastmaster. How's that? Laziness and busyness.
More like business.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah,
We're-
I wanted
We're
I
glad.
wanted to know how many minutes were the speakers.
Oh, I'll let you know that 5 to
Okay.
7, 4 to 6 for both.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Megan. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm working on getting a piece of paper here to write on.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm ready.
I gotta go get something.
Okie dokie. Happy Friday, everybody. It is the first, it's December already. But you know what? It's nice and the weather's perfect out there. So surprisingly, it doesn't seem like December weather. But at least it's not too cold, nice and sunny, and we're all here. So thanks for showing up. And I sent out an email yesterday or a couple days ago regarding elections coming up. So we do have openings for president, vice president of membership, vice president of public relations, and secretary, sergeant of arms. So if you'd like to participate, please send me an email and would love to have you on the team. I'm also encouraging our current officers that will be finishing their 6-month term in December to continue on to the next one for another 6 months. That way it gives the whole full year spectrum of being an officer. So I've already got commitments from a lot of folks. So thank you for continuing your term and offering your services to the club. So we really, really, really appreciate that. But we do always encourage having more people participating in on the executive team. And if it's something that you might want to do maybe in the future, please let me know too. Doesn't have to be this next term, which is going to be January through June. But it's always good to have leaders step up and practice on their leadership skills, communication skills, organization skills. You get a lot of benefits in being in the position. And also there's a lot of help too. I know that when I first started, I was very reluctant to take on anything. And I know that Lucille and a lot of other board members always offered to help. So don't feel like you have to have a lot of experience in any of these positions. As long as you have a desire to do better, we'll be there to help you. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and turn this over to our Toastmaster today. And woohoo! Let's welcome Paul.
Thank you, Deanna. Well, this is going to be fun. Looks like all the roles are filled. We'll go over that in just a second. The theme of the day, this is going to surprise you. The theme of the day is Winter Wonderland. How the heck could it be winter outside? It's beautiful. It's nice. We had some sort of Santa Anas yesterday with the wind blowing like crazy. Bridge all over the street. But it's really nice. And why I call it Winter Wonderland is the other day, I put on my earbuds. I went outside about 6 o'clock and I went for a nice long walk, walked through the neighborhood, saw the Christmas lights, and I played Christmas carols in my ears as I walked. It was my Winter Wonderland. So that's the theme of the day. And you'll see that the table topics, hopefully, and will tie into that. We'll see. The word of the day, grammarian, is sublime. Sublime, and I'm sure Devin will write that down, but sublime is an adjective, and it is of such excellence, grandeur, or beauty as to inspire great admiration or awe. There was a couple of homes in my area that were decked out, absolutely sublime. Let's go over the rules today. I am your Toastmaster. Anita, thank you for coming, is our table topics master. Brooke is our first speaker. Lucille is our second speaker. Megan, you're evaluating Brooke. Jerry, you're evaluating Lucille. Devin, you're our grammarian. Myra, our time. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not. I got that wrong. Our counter is Myra. Angelus, you're our timer. Both speeches are 4 to 6 minutes. General evaluator is Pat. And Stacy, who is here. Yay, Stacy. Stacy is both joke master and watcher. So Stacy, I hope you're ready. I'm going to put you right on the spot. You ready for your joke?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay.
Let's all
Yay.
unmute. Sorry.
What?
Let's all unmute each other.
Oh, okay. So we can laugh. Okay, I bought some shoes the other day from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day.
Yeah.
So why did the old man fall into the well?
Why?
Because he couldn't see that well.
Oh.
Oh.
One more. What's orange and sounds like a carrot? I mean, what's
Say that
orange and
again?
sounds like a parrot? Oh, I didn't do that one right. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
That is.
Thank-
all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Stacy.
My husband said those were good ones, Stacy.
Yeah, they were good.
Good.
All right. So we have all our roles filled. We have our joke done. Sometimes I like to do table topics first, but we have two speakers today. One of them is doing her icebreaker, so we shall not make her wait. We're going to get right into the speeches. Our first speaker today is Brooke Bellis. She's doing her icebreaker on the leadership development path. The title of Brooke's speech is My Journey of Growth. It's about her journey from growing up in London to moving to America to her current chapter as a single mother. The time is 4 to 6 minutes. My Journey of Growth, Brooke. You're on mute. Hey, Brooke, you're on mute.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
I must have moved. Okay, a second. Thank you, Toastmaster, and thank you everyone for having me. So today you're going to learn about who Brooke is. Well, I'm sure you can tell from my accent by now that I'm not from here. So in this speech, I will take you on my journey of growth from growing up in England to moving to America to my current chapter of being a single mother. But first, I will tell you the reasons why I joined Toastmasters. And I think one of the biggest reasons is that I want to become more confident in public speaking, as this will not just help me personally, but also professionally in my current role as HR manager. Additionally, I finally found my voice and I want to be able to use it and help others. So having just turned 31 on Tuesday, I grew up in Kent, Southeast London, until I was 23 years old. I am the eldest of 3 children with a younger brother and a younger sister. And despite living 5,000 miles away from them, I have been so lucky to have the support of my family and friends. Upon finishing high school, I gave up on the university path and I pursued working in beauty. But after a couple of years of learning the art of makeup and skin, I wanted another challenge. But this time I wanted to work in central London. You know, something about the idea of working in the city was a dream for me. The tall buildings, the bright lights, and the history and the culture just really appealed to me. I worked at the American Embassy in London for about 3 years before I was introduced to a Marine, and we hit it off instantly. I was intrigued about his life in the Marines and the tours that he served and the way that he got to travel over the world. And growing up, my family and I, we were lucky to travel to America. And during these trips, I loved exploring the country. But I think it was during a trip back home with him that I actually fell in love with the idea of moving and living in America. I was just 22 years old, and the thought of living that American dream with the man of my dreams was finally so close to reach. So when he proposed, I could not say no. I'd been living at home with my family my entire life, and I shamefully had never even used a washing machine. And here I am moving to a whole new country as a wife with a guy that I'd never really lived with. To say that I just turned my life upside down was a complete understatement. I'd gone from being surrounded by friends and family in a big city to living out in the sticks of North Carolina, and I was in a total culture shock. Although luckily there was no language barrier, I definitely experienced a lot of funny looks and double takes while ordering a glass of water. But unfortunately, it soon became clear that the charming Marine I met in London was not the real guy that I married. And things changed very quickly upon my arrival. And little by little, those red flags that I'd noticed at the beginning were soon becoming a reality. We were 3 years into our rocky marriage when I found out I was pregnant. And I was always hoping it was going to get better, always holding on to that expectation of that perfect family and that perfect marriage. And even after the birth of Jack and moving across country to California, I still clung to that hope that he was going to change and things were going to get better and he was going to be nicer. But quite frankly, things got worse. And becoming a mother and growing older and wiser and wanting to lead by a perfect example, I realized that it wasn't okay to be treated this way. So I slowly started finding my voice and speaking up, which led to him leaving. And that was 3 years ago now. And when I talk with people about the last 3 years, I refer them to my healing journey. I've experienced some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows. And I'm a strong believer in that we all have to go through a hardship to know who we really are. You see, I was a single mother to a 1-year-old infant living in a country with no family or friends around to lean on for support. And being a single mum, I never envisioned the many trials and tribulations that I would experience, from navigating through court proceedings, through deployments, establishing new boundaries, and co-parenting the best way possible for Jack. And these past years have been years of ugly, painful, but empowering growth. I've found beauty in the struggle. I've pushed myself into uncomfortable situations like today, and I realized that the past does not define your future. And throughout this journey, I've met people who have gone through similar abusive relationships as I did, and I've been able to relate and guide them through their challenging times. So I guess this brings me back to finally finding my voice and wanting to use it to help others. Look, we know that life is hard, it's messy, and it's constantly throwing us curveballs, especially right now in this current chaos. But it truly is an incredible journey with so many lessons to learn. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes to remember during these tough times. And that is, when nothing is certain, anything is possible. Thank you.
Excellent. Would you take 1 minute and write Brooke either through chat, or Brooke, if you wouldn't mind putting your email, if you want to get email at your work address, however you'd like to receive feedback. Please write some comments for Brooke on her talk. It is my pleasure to introduce our second speaker of the day. It's Lucille Shaw. She's working on an icebreaker, if you can believe that. An icebreaker for a new pathways on strategic relationships. Her title is About Me, True or False. About Me, True or False? It's 4 to 6 minutes. Please help me welcome Lucille Shaw.
Thank you, Paul. Most of you do not know who I am, really. Maybe only about 3 of you, Paul, Jerry, and Stacy, because they've been with us here with me. I've been in this club for 13 years. So I'm wondering, how am I supposed to give an icebreaker for the 3rd time and still engage the 3 of the longest member of our club? So I really like what Devin did last time. So I'm kind of following it. So I have a 3 question for you guys. And all I want you to do is, if it's a true, put your hands up. If it's false, turn it down. So first question, I am an accomplished pianist. True or false? Okay, thank you. Second question, I am a first soprano. Okay, thank you. The third is, I am the owner of an insurance agency. Okay, thank you. All right, so most of you, the first question, I am an accomplished pianist, about 50-50 kind of say yes, and some say no. So that is false. In a way, I kind of wanted to be. In the early part of my childhood, I was the 3rd child, and we were a middle-class family. So we really, by the time I arrived, my siblings are 6 to 7 years older than me. So by the time I arrived, there's not much money for my family to really give me some kind of extracurricular activities such as a piano lesson. So I never got any of that things. So what I did was I wanted to be able to learn how to play the piano. So in an adult life, around mid to late 20s, I decided, I could do this. I have some money. I'm working now. I'll buy a piano and take piano lessons. Then realize that I really have to practice, and I really have to cut my nails. As you know, I like long nails. So I did cut my nails, bought the piano, tried to play it, and I'm very good in eyesight reading the notes, and I can do that. After a while, I really did not have the time to play the piano and practice. So I was able to at least learn how to play Moonlight Sonata first to measure. That's how much I know about piano. But what I did, which I feel like I have accomplished something, is I gave that piano to my niece, who was then 4 years old, gifted that to her. And at 6, she took piano lesson, and right now is a major piano music teacher who was working at a school and was a music major. And because of the pandemic, she got laid off. And so she reinvented herself and now have her own little business as a music piano teacher, teaching kids how to play the piano. And it was doing really well. And she's still having it in her home. So in a way, I kind of play the piano through her. Second is I am a first soprano. And most of you kind of not sure. Some of you says no, some of you says. So I am really a first soprano. In high school, I sang in the school choir. And in church, I sang in the church choir. And as a first soprano, if some of you know, that's a very high note in the music, and soprano, alto, tenor, bass. soprano is the highest, but the first soprano is even higher. I can still sing soprano, but not the first anymore because I haven't practiced for so long. So yes, I do have a good training as far as singing is concerned. Third is I am the owner of an insurance agency, and most of you know that, and I'm kind of glad that you do. But for some of you that did not answer, have been a business owner for like 37 years now. And the very first company that I was involved with was actually my mother recruited me, and I just graduated in high school. In college, and she wanted me to join her company, she's an insurance agent. And I said, no, Mom, I can't do that. I studied to be in medical school and I wanted to practice my own degree. So at any rate, circle back years later, one of my company is an insurance agency. It's an independent insurance agency. And I'm actually, if one of you or anybody knows, I'm looking for agents that might want to work with us. It is an independent, so I'm not with any type of company. We can represent quite a bit. We are specializing in health, Medicare, disability, and long-term care. That's our specialty. With that, thank you for listening to me, and I hope I'm able to still impart something new to the older or seasoned members and some new to the new ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucille. Would you take 1 minute and write Lucille some comments, what you thought about her speech, what you'd like to see more of, the impact? Lucille, would you kindly put your address, email if you'd like, or just chat it over to her? Your feedback, please. All right, Angeles, while we're wrapping those comments up, would you please offer us a timers report?
So Brooke qualified and Lucille, I got 6 minutes and 10 seconds. So I don't know if that would qualify.
She does. You get 30 seconds on the front and the back end. So that's wonderful.
Okay. So
Yeah.
both qualified.
Wonderful. I did not ask for a ballot counter. I don't think we have one. Lisa, would you be kind enough to be our ballot counter? Or who is? Devin?
So we're doing the polls now.
Oh, excellent. Polls. Are you going to put them up at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have all 3 categories at the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I forgot. We did that last time and I completely forgot. So wonderful. All right. Well, that said, let's vote or not vote. Let's introduce our general evaluator, Pat. You might be on mute, my friend. There you go.
Thank you, Paul. That's for your great leading the meeting, and thanks to the speakers. I will now introduce our first evaluator. I'm sorry, I didn't get the agenda.
It would be nice to have an agenda, wouldn't it? So the evaluator for Brooke is Megan.
Please introduce here's Megan, our first evaluator. Thank you.
Brooke, that was great and wonderful icebreaker. was nice. I liked knowing about it. It was great knowing about your life. You were extremely comfortable with everything that you said. And I think that that is great that you are comfortable. And I do think that maybe if you, we all, I mean, we all haven't had the same trauma or the same experiences that you have had, Brooke, but I think that everyone, all of us, even us here at Toastmasters, we have all dealt with trauma in our lives. And so in that sense, I think that you could speak and use the speech as an avenue to everyone when you talk about how you've been through trauma. Just say, like, you all have been through trauma and we can all overcome that, as you have so elegantly shown us. What? All right, thank you. And
Thanks, Megan. I will now introduce our second evaluator, Jerry.
Thank you, Pat. Lucille, I thought that was a very good speech, an icebreaker speech. I like the way you phrased things in the terms of the questions. And then I like the idea that you dealt with the fact that some people knew more about you and other people knew very little about you. This is a common problem when you speak, that some people are very well versed on the topic and others are not. And so you have to, address an audience like that. I thought the story about the piano was very good. About how you try to learn the piano and then gave it to your niece, and she went on and did great things with the piano. I thought that was a very heartwarming story, and I like that was incorporated in there. The fact that you were honest, told us about yourself, that is always interesting. Whenever a speaker is up there and they're talking about really what's going on with them, doesn't matter what it is, people pay attention. And so I thought that was a very good aspect of it, that you were very honest about the way you approached it and told us about yourself. Other than that, I don't really have any great recommendations as far as the conclusion. Maybe you could have said something maybe a little more, but I'm not sure in an icebreaker that's that necessary, because you're not really selling an idea. But you could have mentioned maybe Toastmasters would have been nice, but that's maybe a different speech. Anyway, great speech, Lucille. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I'll now turn the meeting back over to our Toastmaster, Paul.
Excellent. I'm going to ask for a timer's report later because there's a trash truck. It's just about to roll up by my house. So I'm going to quickly transition over to Anita for table topics.
Thank you, Paul. You might be able to hear noise in the background here as well, but we'll just roll with it, right? So today we're talking about sweet treats in the holidays, because candy and sweet treats have become kind of synonymous with the holiday season. And I think that you all know that I'm kind of the candy lady of North County. And so what better topic to discuss? Special candies, sweet treats, and other foods have become part of our holiday traditions. And I was just thinking that in all of this craziness, maybe if we have moved away from holiday traditions a little bit, maybe it's time to think about them again. And it's a way to connect with family, friends, and with things that we've done in the past, with things that make a difference. So anyway, I was thinking about this time of year, and what always comes to mind are Christmas trees with popcorn strung around it. And I don't know why. Have any of you tried to string popcorn? I did one time and it
Yes.
kept breaking and falling off the string. I don't even know how they keep it on. But anyway, what I used to do would be to buy little candies and hang them on the tree. And so my kids loved that. There were no no's as far as that tree went. So the candy would disappear every day. It would just be higher and higher up the tree because down low it would disappear. But let's see, Lisa, what sweet treat do you think of during the holidays and why?
Woo-hoo.
Hi, Anita. Hello, everybody. I love Christmas time, like most people who celebrate Christmas. And we are getting earlier and earlier each time of the year when we decorate. But the funny thing is, so my favorite sweet treat has to do with decorating. I love the lights. I love the lights at Christmas time. And we put up a lot of lights outside and a lot of lights inside. My mantle is decorated and I have a display on the top of our piano and my table top. So I have a lot of lights. But the funny thing is my 20-year-old artificial tree is the ugliest Grinch-like or Snoopy like tree around. It's a very sad Christmas tree because I have 5 cats always pulling the branches out, throwing them around the house. I now have a pig who's very interested in the ornaments. So while our lights are sublime, our Christmas tree is not. The ornaments are mostly the handmade ones that our girls have made. And I can't see the timer, but I'm assuming I'm coming up on time. Suffice it to say, I love the lights at Christmas and the decorating aspect of Christmas. And if the sweet treats weren't so caloric, I would definitely put that ahead of lights. But yeah, they're not good for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. That was a good way to talk about the holidays without the sweet treats. We're kind of fitted in there. You did a great job. But, you know, I kind of think of Halloween as starting the holiday season, even though I don't think that it's really a holiday. But there's a controversy. I don't know if you know about the controversy. It's candy corn. Either you're a candy corn lover or you're a candy corn hater, right? Well, of course, I'm a lover. But Deanna, are you a lover or a hater, and why?
Thank you, Anita. I am neither a lover or a hater of candy corn. I'll eat it if it's in front of me. I'll take a little bit of it, and I would enjoy the caramel flavor of the candy corn, but it's not something that I seek out and say, oh my gosh, I gotta have a candy corn. But I don't hate it, so I wouldn't say no to it, but I would say no to licorice. I am not a black licorice person. But the candy corn, what I do like about the candy corn, it's a pretty yellow, it's a pretty orange, and I believe it has a little bit of white in it. So at least the colors are inviting. But I agree with Lisa that the sugar is something that we should turn down if we have the willpower. And with candy corn, I will say I have the willpower to take it or leave it. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you, Deanna.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna have to start a non-sugar candy company, I think.
No.
I love to dip everything in chocolate. And in fact, I was wondering what candy corn would taste like dipped in chocolate. It might even make it better. We dip everything from nuts to red vines in chocolate. I've never tried black licorice though, so maybe that's something to try. No. But Jessie, Jessie, you're there, I assume. I see your name. And I was wondering what you would like to be dipped in chocolate and why, and if you have any story about it. And don't forget, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. The word is sublime. So use the word sublime. Thank you.
Okay, yes, I can contribute. What was the question again?
The question was, we love, for me, we love everything dipped in chocolate. We've tried all kinds of things. What would you like to see dipped in chocolate or mixed with chocolate, either that you've had or have not had, and why?
Okay, got it, Anita. That's great. And I love this topic overall. So fun at Christmas time. I would have to say almonds. I love chocolate covered almonds, and they come at the Whole Foods or Sprouts, both dark chocolate or milk chocolate. And you probably have some too. I need to learn your line of candy. And I love, 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 that would be my favorite. And of course, I always think about Dairy Queen ice cream dipped with a chocolate dip. That's also a real favorite. One thing I wanted to add, since I get to talk to you just for a second, which is very sublime, and that is peanut brittle, sugar-free peanut brittle. So that might be an idea for you if you're not already making it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. We have made peanut brittle and it's good. And I have a hard time not eating it when I'm making it. So I have to be really careful.
Great.
But the iconic candy, I think we would all agree for the holidays for this time of the year are candy canes. And I was kind of wondering, well, where the heck did candy canes come from? And so it turns out that everybody, all the experts, I guess, agree that the first candy canes were in 1610 in Germany, and that a choir master was trying to keep the kids quiet, so that he made a sugary long stick and flipped over the end so that it would be a staff or a cane like the shepherds. It was for some sort of a nativity purpose. So anyway, there's lots of mints. In fact, the peppermint was added in the USA later in Germany, and all those years up till fairly recently, it was just a sugary stick. So we added the mint. There's lots of different kinds of mints out there, wintergreen and peppermint and spearmint. And so let's see, who haven't I? Debbie, do you like mint? What kind of mint do you like? And what's your favorite mint candy?
I love mint. You know, it's funny because when you were talking about candy corn, to me, if it doesn't have chocolate, there's no point in eating it. Except mint. I love mint. And the best combination is mint and chocolate, except no wintergreen. I hate wintergreen. If anyone gives me wintergreen, I have a fit. I do not like wintergreen. Love peppermint, love spearmint. I think that is just like the best combination. And that was a great story too about where candy canes actually really came from. I like that. But anyhow, mint and chocolate, sublime. That's the ultimate candy. And I have to say that I really am a junk food person, and I know you guys are all right, and I know how bad it is. And I live with my husband. We eat completely separate food, and I'm like the please pass the Oreos, and he's like only raw, healthy, organic, natural. And it's quite a combination, because as much as I admire it, I can't stick to it. So I'm going to come over and have some of your candy company. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Back to Halloween. When I was a kid, and that was many, 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 many years ago, households really sometimes, many times, actually made what they gave away. They would make caramel apples, but the big thing normally was popcorn balls, caramel popcorn balls, and we loved those. But if you did get a candy bar, there were none of these little tiny little candy bars. You get a candy bar. And so I always loved Butterfingers. I could have a Butterfinger a day. And so Jerry, what was your favorite Halloween candy? And did you like to dress up for Halloween or not? And if so, tell us about a Halloween experience.
Okay, thank you for that question, Anita. Halloween's one of my favorite holidays because you do get to dress up. And I dressed up as many different people. I had one that looked like kind of like a Frankenstein suit, you know, with the makeup and the green. And I remember going to a party. It was, you know, as a realtor for a long time, and they had these parties. And so they'd had a contest who had the best costume, and I won the best costume. And I was like, oh, this is cool, you know. So it is a fun holiday. It's a great time to dress up, and the candy is great. You know, I like all the candy and stuff, and I don't know exactly what my favorite candy is. I probably the chocolate. That's the best stuff you can get, the dark chocolate. But it is a great holiday. So anyway, I would like to just say Halloween, it's a great holiday. Thanks.
Thank you, Jerry. I love that. I never really liked to dress up. I love to dress up my kids, and they love to dress up. In fact, my son was recently unicorn poop. I mean, what kind of a costume is that? But anyway, since I'm the candy lady, some of you might not realize that I don't love everything. And the one thing that I hate is coconut. And if you put coconut in chocolate or anything else, I will not eat it unless I absolutely have to. And there's been no reason that I absolutely have to. So let's see. Myra, what kind of food or sweet treat do you actually do not like, and why? And did you have an experience with it you'd like to share?
Thank you, Anita. I feel like I'm gonna be singled out here, but I actually don't really like a lot of sweets. I'm more of a salty person. So there's a lot that I haven't even tried because I know that I probably am not gonna enjoy it, and it's extra calories, as a lot of you have already mentioned. Maybe, since we've brought it up, candy corn and black licorice are both terrible. I have tried them both. I do not like either one. So that's what I would go with. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you, Myra. A candy hater. No, I'm just kidding, because everybody likes their own thing. And in fact, you were talking about salty, and I was thinking about Cheetos. Cheetos are my favorite. And I was wondering, I wonder what those would taste like dipped in chocolate. One of these days, I'm going to try it and see what it's like. But everyone talks about Thanksgiving. That's a holiday we haven't talked about yet. And when they talk about Thanksgiving, they always talk about what they had for Thanksgiving dinner and the pie or dessert that they had for dessert. And Angel, are you there? Can
I
you
am here,
tell us-
darling.
Great. Can you tell us about your Thanksgiving dinner, either past or present, and about the meal, and especially if you had pie and what kind of dessert?
Thank you, Anita, for that question. I adore Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving meals. I think they're totally, utterly, and completely sublime in every way. And the most sublimacious one that I have ever had was probably my first one in LA, where some very outgoing camp fellas, some gay fellas, put on this huge party and invited literally everyone. It was the most decorated, the most flamboyant, the most over the top that I've ever seen. The whole place decorated inside and out on the lawn. Plates and plates of food that we helped to prepare being passed around an enormous table. I don't remember the desserts from that one, but I can tell you that this one and all the more recent ones, a friend of mine makes pecan pie. And I don't know if Brooke has had pecans in England, but I had never heard of them. And the first one I ever had here broke my tooth and sent me to a painful and expensive dentist. But my friend Alan makes the most wonderful pecan pie, and he serves it with vanilla ice cream. My older sister came to visit me here at his house and said, "What's for dessert?" And when he said heroin, her face was completely shocked. But then he looked at her and said, "Have you ever seen your sister's reaction to ice cream? We always call it heroin in this house." So anyway, that's what we had. That's what we had for dessert. He made 2 pecan pies, lots of ice cream. And what I most love, I should say, is because it's like our Christmas meal. We always do turkey in England for Christmas. And so what I love is it comes early here. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you, Angel. What a great story. And it sounds like a delicious meal. Paul, how are we doing on time?
I think we could squeeze one more in if you have one.
One more. All righty. Whenever we would go on vacation, somehow, some way, we end up at the local candy shop. And we always look for fudge or saltwater taffy. Why is that? I don't know. But Angelus, when you go on vacation, do you ever look for a sweet treat on your vacation? Or if not, what do you like to eat when you're on vacation?
Hi, thank you, Anita. I haven't really been on vacation recently, but the last place I went to was New York, Rhode Island, and Pennsylvania. And one thing that I was told to try from Rhode Island was puffies or something like that, which is like little, like there's small little like breaded balls with like crab inside or something. It was something like that. And I tried it, but it's not for me. I didn't like it. I do like getting treats like chocolates. Like when I went to New York, I went to the M&M store they have in Times Square, and I got some M&Ms to bring back home, and I kind of ate them on the way home. So I didn't have anything to bring back to my siblings. So I thought it was very sublime. And once I go back to New York, I think I'm gonna go back to the M&M store again. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelus. That's a great story. When you go on a trip, you might not go very often, but you really go somewhere. When I go on a trip, it's down to San Diego or something like that. But Paul, thank you. Turning it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Anita. Can I get a timers report, please, Angelus, on our evaluations and also on our table topics, please?
So on the evaluators, both of them qualified. And then for table topics, Lisa and Angel did not qualify, but everyone else did.
Would you mind, just for the sake of...
You want the names?
Yeah, would you, just for fun, because we could put all up, or Devin will, somebody will. Go for it.
Okay, so it's Deanna, Jesse, Debbie, Jerry. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and I forgot to say Myra didn't qualify. She was under.
And you qualified too, right?
I think I did. I didn't time myself.
Ah, all right. All right, so we will vote in just a second. Let's go through our reports. And let's start with our grammarian report. Devin?
Yeah, I was going to say they didn't all use the word of the day.
Oh, that's right.
So actually the list that I had as people who qualified is Jesse, Debbie, Angel, and Angelus.
Thank you. I totally forgot about that. Grammarian. Well, you're on a roll. So do you want to give us what you thought about the meeting in terms of any interesting uses of language?
Sure. So Brooke, wonderful speech. I liked He said culture shock and a healing journey. Really nice. I didn't hear any improper uses of language for anyone the whole meeting, actually. Lisa, I liked Grinch-like tree. That really painted a picture. Deanna, take it or leave it. And Angel, flamboyant, I think is a word that we don't use very often. It's nice to hear.
All right, thank you, Devin. Let's move to our awe counter, the dreaded awe counter. Myra, how do we do?
Sorry, everyone. I have Brooke at 1 1 you know, and 2 repeats. Lucille, 1 1 so, and 2 repeats. Megan, 1 ah, 4 1 so, 1 you know, and 2 repeats. Jerry, 3 uhs, 2 you know, and 1 repeat. Anita, 1 4 1 so, 2 you know, 2 repeats. Lisa, 1 1 so, 1 repeat. Deanna, 1 repeat. Jesse, 1 repeat. Becky, 2 2 like. And Angelus, 1 3 2 so's, and 4 likes. And that's it.
Excellent, thank you. I always love thorough awe counter reports because that way we have the opportunity to improve. We may not know that one word that gets us every time. Mine happens to be so. I just love the word so. So what? Let's move to our general evaluator, Pat.
All right, thanks, Paul. My evaluation of the meeting, it was the timeliness was good. We started right at 12. Thanks, Deanna. I have a list of things I used to evaluate our in-person meetings. So room setup, since we don't have a room, it's a virtual room. It was great visually, the lighting, the framing, everybody seems to have gotten it down. The enthusiasm was very high. Everyone seems very positive. The Paul was very organized. I think that kept everything on a good level. I will notice that I saw a lot of pets, and that was really cool. I saw Myra's cat running around, and Debbie, I saw your dog. That was really cute. It was the puppy. The preparation was on point. Deanna, thanks for keeping everybody on cue and keeping everybody organized. Paul, great performance of your duties. Always very orderly and well organized. The speakers were very prepared. I really enjoyed Brooke's speech and Lucille's speech. They were very enthusiastic and visually good. The healing journey and the learning more about Lucille, I think that was one of the themes, or the tone of the meeting was very welcoming and warm and friendly. I like the holiday theme about the table topics and our traditions. So it was a very relaxed, friendly meeting. I really enjoyed it. Just on the evaluators, Megan, you were very encouraging. I'm not sure if you gave any tips for improvement. I know we're supposed to, add that into the feedback. Jerry, you had very good suggestions. And overall, yeah, it was just a very, I think we learned a little about each other, kind of background, and Stacy gave us some of the background in her table topics. And so that was, yeah, it was just a really friendly meeting, and I enjoyed it. And I don't really have any tips for improvement or to make it more effective, because I think it was very good overall. So thank you.
Thank you, Pat. I think an agenda would be sublime, but that's just me. Let's move to our awards. Devin, would you kindly let us know how our polling turned out in our awards?
Yes. So our best speaker of the day goes to Brooke. Congratulations, Brooke. Best evaluator goes to Jerry.
Woohoo!
And best table topics is Debbie. Congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Devin. I'd like to turn the meeting back to our president, Deanna. Yay.
Thank you. Good job, everybody. And while I'm thinking of it, let's get a quick picture. Devin, would you mind snapping a? Okay. All right. So, cheers. Okay. All right. So, good job, everybody. And fantastic job with our icebreakers. Brooke, your first time, fantastic. Good job, Lucille, for doing her icebreaker on a new path. That's fantastic way to set an example. And great topics, Anita. Awesome job, Paul. And I want to, let's see, go to our screen. And actually, before I do that, I had talked about the officer elections, and I want to find out what date would be good for everybody. We've got two more meetings before we're down for two more. So we have next week, and then what is that, 11th or the 18th? And I'm thinking the 18th. Does that sound okay for everybody? Any reason why I shouldn't do it that day? Most people going to be here on the 18th? Yeah. Anybody not going to be here? I'll do it on the 18th then. Does that sound? Can I get a thumbs up for the 18th?
Yay.
Okay. All right. We'll do the 18th. And let me share the screen for next week.
Even if we're away, we can get online, right?
Yes. Yeah, we'll be voting online by Zoom at our meeting. Okay. So for next week, we've got Lucille as our Toastmaster, and we have Devin as our speaker, Anita as our grammarian, and Paul's our timer. And we've got openings for all the others. So just yell out what position and your name.
Deanna?
Can I try table topics?
Absolutely. Thanks for jumping in there, Brooke. I'll help you too.
Yeah, because I probably need some help with that one.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And Megan, I heard you say something.
Who won table topics this time?
Debbie.
Okay. I just didn't write it down.
Thank you. Okay, speaker 2, evaluators.
I can be
I'll
an
do
evaluator.
I'll do speaker 2, Jerry.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Stacy, for evaluator. And I need one more evaluator.
I can do one for you, darling.
Okay.
Angel, if you need me.
All right. Anybody else want to be evaluator? I'll put Angel down. Okay. I'll counter, general evaluator, joke master.
I can say a joke.
Okay. Woo! Yes, you can. Angeles. All right. I'll counter and general evaluator.
I'll do general evaluator.
General evaluator. That's a Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. I'll counter.
I'll do it, except for I'm not good at that. I mean, as you see, after every Toastmaster meeting, I always have the most uhs when and I can't catch all the ums from other people.
That's a good exercise then. I'll put you for eye counter, Megan.
After I just told you I couldn't.
That'll maybe help you to listen for it more.
You can do it.
So when you're an eye counter, it'll sharpen your skills to listening to it and being more cognizant.
All right. But then you can't be so exciting. Your speech has to be dull, so I don't get in.
I'm not speaking.
It's great. Whoever is speaking and whomever with all the speeches. I mean, even the table topics. Make them boring.
All right, Megan. Okay, can everybody see the Pathways Progress?
No.
Nope. All right, let me try it again. I am going to stop sharing, and then let me try to share again. Okay, so Brooke, right here, you are on the chart. Awesome job. And Lucille.
New path.
Woohoo! You are on the chart again. Fantastic. And let's see, stop sharing. Okay. Anybody have any announcements?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You are correct. Tomorrow is Saturday. And what's on for Saturday? Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let's see. Let's try this. I don't know if they'll work, but. Hey, can you guys see my d5tm.org?
It's coming.
You see that? Now it's coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. So you asked, what's going on tomorrow? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you brought that up, Lucille. Under district events, under calendar. So if you want to see some really, really good speeches tomorrow, this is going to be
Northern.
There's Northern Division and there's also Eastern Division. So there's two of them. The Northern Division is in the morning, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, so that's part of us.
We are part of them.
Yes, we are part of the Northern Division. And then there's also the Eastern Division in the afternoon. So if you want to watch some really good speeches, learn some people, get some ideas, then just click on either of those or both of them. And then there's an area where you can, in fact, let me just click on this right now. Starts at 9. Okay, can you see that breakdown of the agenda?
There's a link.
So, yeah, 9 to 11:30, and then as you scroll, oh, actually right here, join Zoom meeting, right there. Okay. Thank you for that, Lucille. Anything else? Anybody else? Any questions? I'll stay behind for a couple minutes, Devin, if that's okay. If anybody has any questions or if anybody wants to chit chat.
Is Angel still here?
Angel,
darling.